Hey, everybody, welcome to the SCB Steelers Inside Blitz for March 25th, 2025. It's hard to believe we are this far into the years already, 3 months in, and that means we're about a month out from the NFL draft. Coming up in Green Bay next month. Hopefully, the weather's good for that. And I'm sure they'll have quite a presentation there, if you will, in Lambeau Field and the surrounding areas. But interesting news today regarding our Steelers and the fact that Russell Wilson has signed a deal with the New York Football Giants to be the quarterback there. They have an unusual QB room all of a sudden. Russell Wilson, Tommy DeVito, and Jameis Winston. And I would suspect a rookie also to be coming in there too. So it's funny in the NFL. You have QB rooms like ours, which right now Mason Rudolph is literally standing in the QB room doing the whole John Travolta thing where he just keeps looking around. No one else is really there. I mean, yeah, Skylar Thompson is, but I mean, come on. In any case, Wilson's deal with New York reportedly by Schefter and the other NFL beat guys, 21 million for a year, and it looks like probably 10.5 million guaranteed. So I think a lot of fans, the first question is, well, wait a minute. Could the Steelers have afforded that? And the answer to that is absolutely. They could have easily afforded that. And it also makes me wonder whether or not, well, not whether or not, but what was the Steelers' offer? Because we were told they did put an offer on the table to Russell Wilson, and it was likely going to be a low offer. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just curious to see that he signed for that. Just be curious what it was. Let's put it that way. As far as Rodgers goes, Aaron Rodgers, who now appears to be our only option. Um, I mean, okay, Joe Flacco, maybe anybody, and I'll get back to that in a minute. Rodgers, I'm thinking, and I'm not the salary cap guru person the way that Ben and Ian are on the regular podcast. I would think, Rodgers is probably looking at 30 million, maybe 20, 23, something like that, guaranteed. Is probably what it would take to bring him into to Pittsburgh for the year. But I let me go back to Wilson just for a second. I wonder what, if anything, and I don't know anything more than most of you at this time, transpired, because we know about the breakdown in relationship between Wilson and Arthur Smith over those last 5-6 weeks of the season. And that happens. Coordinators and quarterbacks are not always they don't always see eye to eye. They don't always agree on everything, but you try to set those things aside. You make the best of it. You do what's best for the team, and you move forward. And I can't help but wonder if there isn't something more to it. Because usually, not always, but usually you can make a go of it. I mean, Wilson and Smith are veteran NFL people. They've been around the league a long time, and you figure out the best way you can to work together. That doesn't mean you like each other. You just work. I mean, we all have that. You work with people that you might not like. You get along to get along, so to speak. And I just can't help but wonder, were they I guess disappointed maybe in his overall abilities? Did the lack of making plays at the end of the year, did that suggest to Mike Tomlin that can't do this again? I don't know, and I don't think we'll ever really know. But here's where we are. We are now in a situation where Mason Rudolph is your guy. And Aaron Rodgers is continuing to be patient because he has no reason not to be. The Steelers, meanwhile, I mean, I guess what I keep coming back to, does it matter if it's Mason Rudolph, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Flacco? I do any of those people all of a sudden mean that you're going to go from, let's say, 7 or 8 wins all of a sudden to 11 or 12 wins? I don't think so. I think you're talking maybe the difference of 1 or 2 wins here, depending. I would maybe detract a couple from Flacco just because of the lack of mobility. But I mean, I could understand arguments when you mention Rudolph and Rodgers in that vein as well. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of bringing in Rodgers strictly because I don't want the drama. I don't want the Pat McAfee show every Tuesday. I don't want him throwing people under the bus. The way he has in the past. I want a guy that's committed. I don't want a guy that skips OTAs and mini camps and everything else. I want people that, as Mike Tomlin says, I want volunteers. I don't want hostages. And if you choose to not come to those things, then that tells me you are feeling like a hostage, not a volunteer. And I think that's the difference with Mason Rudolph. In no way, shape, or form am I comparing him to Aaron Rodgers in terms of his abilities or overall credentials and resume. But what I am saying is, I know you're going to get everything Mason Rudolph's got. He's going to be at every practice. He's going to be at every meeting. He's going to do the things necessary that you want to see. And I can't say the same for Rodgers, who I think I just get the feeling is at the end of his career and he's just looking to tack on a few more bucks onto this. And is the arm still there? Definitely. Is the knowledge still there? The ability to read a defense? Absolutely. That doesn't go away. You don't just suddenly lose that part of it. Is the mobility still there? No, I don't think so. I think the Achilles did him in. He was very statuesque at times last year. Maybe it'll be better after a year. He's had a year, and maybe that flexibility, maybe that ability to move in the pocket will be better. I don't know, but I think in many ways this is what Tomlin has kind of been wanting all along. He's wanted to bring Rodgers in, bring the veteran presence. And run the offense as well as he knows how to. But then what about Arthur Smith? I mean, do you really, if Russell Wilson was going to have problems with Arthur Smith, do you think Aaron Rodgers is not? I mean, do you think he's going to agree with everything Smith wants to do? I don't think so. I don't see that happening. But I'm getting ahead of myself here too, simply because of the fact that Rodgers is not on board yet. And I've seen some suggest he might not even sign until around the draft. Maybe just before, maybe just after. I really don't know. But what I can tell you is coming up on the podcast this Thursday night, one of the things that we will talk about is the strategy of the Pittsburgh Steelers front office this offseason, because I don't want to give too much away, but I think there's a general sentiment that they went into free agency thinking that they were going to be able to get a Sam Darnold or Aaron Rodgers sooner, and they set some money aside for that. And I think it may have cost them the opportunity to bring in some good free agents, especially defensive line type free agents, because you'll notice we have not done a damn thing to get that defensive line better. Isaiah Loudermilk coming back, okay, nice player, but he's not going to make a difference. And all it really does now is suggest that you either have to make a trade or you're going to have to strike gold really twice in the draft along the defensive line. Cam Hayward cannot be an all-pro every year. He can't. He's 35 years old. It's just the guy played out of his mind last year and was well deserving of his all-pro status. But how much longer can we expect that to happen? I hopefully forever, but I'm also a realist. So that'll be discussed. We'll talk a little bit of the draft. We got some great draft profiles coming out. Both Dom and Cliff are doing a great job, our two new writers here at the site, and they continue to do awesome work in preparation for the draft and free agency and everything else that's going on right now. So, we will definitely keep you informed. Make sure you check out the site, steelcityblitz.com. And as usual, we will be right back here at 10 o'clock on Thursday night, the SCB Steelers podcast presented by Deck Roofing Incorporated. And look forward to having you. We've had great audiences the last couple weeks. And please join us, jump in the chat, If you don't want to, that's totally cool too. Listen, watch, all that great stuff. We appreciate it. Probably more than because we're just four dudes, but we take it pretty seriously and have a lot of fun at the same time. So check that out coming up on Thursday. Anyway, that's it for me. I've gone well past my normal 10 minutes, and have a great night, everybody. This is SteelDad signing off on the SCB Steelers Inside Blitz.